says that there is only one obstacle to world unity: Christianity. It goes on to say that Christianity claims supernatural knowledge and divine revelation, and therefore should not be tolerated. Gus Hall, the former leader of the Communist Party in America, said, "I dream of a time when the last congressman is strangled to death on the guts of the last preacher. And since the Christians love to sing about the blood, why not give them a little of it?" A New Age group calling itself Solar Questers writes, "These are wondrous times because the world has gone through this terrific experience as it spins slowly back to its rightful orbit in the position that it should be in the heavens. And as this happens, more and more comfort and well-being will come upon this world, and those who hinder will be removed, liquidated. They must be wiped clean off the face of the earth." Ruth Montgomery, sometimes referred to as the Herald of the New Age, said, "Millions will survive and millions won't. Those who won't will go into the spirit state because there is truly no death." The authors of a New Age pamphlet titled Cosmic Countdown claim to have received messages from a higher intelligence. The pamphlet says the world should be forewarned to be on the lookout for the decimation of populations. These peoples will eventually be replaced by the new root race about to make its appearance in a newly cleansed world. But perhaps the most disturbing comments come from New Age author Barbara Marx Hubbard. Researchers John Ankerberg and John Weldon report that due to her vast financial wealth and influence among leading world politicians and industrialists, she is having a major impact behind the scenes. She has been influenced by spirits for almost 2 decades. In her book titled Happy Birthday Planet Earth, Hubbard wrote, "The choice is, do you wish to become a natural Christ, a universal human, or do you wish to die? People will either change or die," she says. "That is the choice." Hubbard says, "There have always been defective seeds. In the past, they were permitted to die a natural death. We, the elders, have been patiently waiting to take action to cut out this corrupted and corrupting element in the body of humanity." Hubbard's spirit guides gave her a vision of things to come. They told her that out of the full spectrum of human personality, 1/4 is electing to transcend, 1/4 is destructive, and they are defective seeds. Now, as we approach the quantum shift from the creature human to the co-creative human, the human who is the inheritor of God-like power, the destructive 1/4 must be eliminated from the social body. Fortunately, you are not responsible for this act. We are. We are in charge of God's selection process for planet Earth. He selects, we destroy. We are the riders of the pale horse, death.
This John 16:2. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God's service. Shalom Akim, Yahweh Bashim Yashai, or Kahala Yahweh Bashim Yashai, Bashim Ruach Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who are the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. Now, in the video we just watched, that was basically a perspective on some of the world elites and their ideas, right? The perspective coming from a Christian, okay? You see, the video basically was trying to highlight how there is a world cabal and that's ultimately trying to depopulate the earth. Now, though that video got a lot of the details, right, or the facts of what these elitists said, it pretty much didn't go into the explanation of why. Who are these people? You see, that video, when you get into the first, there's 3 people, right? The communist man who said he hoped to see the last politician strangled on the guts of the last pastor. You had the woman who was like New Age herald and stuff like that. Then you had Barbara Marx Hubbard, who was a 1986 Democratic presidential nominee, who she's also like a rich heiress to like some fortune or something. But the point being is she's famous for that saying that, you know, she admits that she's the elites, the white people are the riders of the pale horse, death. Well, you see, these, even though this Christian video got the facts right, it didn't get the reasoning behind why. Well, the first reason is that these are the Edomites, right? These are, and on top of that, these are the elect, or the elites of the Edomites, okay? They're the ones who are, though they're being deceived by the higher spiritual entities that they deal with, right? Because notice how they said that Barbara Marx Hubbard, you know, has been in contact with spiritual or higher, what do they call them? Higher frequency beings, right? Which are ultimately just the left-hand angels who are coming to her, and we've all seen this with witches and people who are connected to the New Age movement, talking about how they've communicated with spiritual entities and all this stuff, and how these spiritual entities reveal things to them. Well, that's ultimately what the Lord is doing to these elites, and he's sending them over those left-handed angels, right? Those demons, right? To basically to confound them, to confuse them, to mislead them, right? Just like you had Ahab, King Ahab of Israel, I believe. The Lord sent a lying spirit, a left-hand angel, to go confound Ahab's, preachers, so that way they could persuade him to fall in the battle. Now that's ultimately what's going on with these Edomites. And when I say Edomites, I'm talking about the Caucasian race, okay? The people who those elites of the video we just watched all belong to, right? See, because though they believe, see, this is the crazy thing, they believe that what's happening right now in the world, how everything is falling into corruption, and how, you know, we're just, you know, are in a fallen state, that it all has to do with the planet's location inside of space, right? This is why right now they're all happy that the Earth has moved into the age of Aquarius, right? When I mean the age of Aquarius, I'm talking about a specific space or location in space, right? Which they believe that when we get in this location of space, that it's going to imbue them with some sort of cosmic power, and, you know, we're going to get back to that physical location in space that's going to, you know, give them like the enlightenment and the power, right? But that they have to, what does it say? What did they say? They had to unburden humanity by killing off the 1/3. Well, they are ultimately trying to kill off you Negro, Latino, Native Americans, right? Those are the targets for the Edomites. And why is that? Well, because you see, they believe that we are the untrainable, the useless eaters, right? The people who will not evolve to their, you know, transhumanist agenda, or, you know, the Luciferian vow, right? Because we're not, you know, Lord willing, we're not going to take that shit when it comes out, when they offer it. Also, we're not down with their plans, right? Because see, they believe that only that humanity can only transition to the next iterum of, you know, humanity, right? We know this as heaven upon earth. They understand this as the new age. They think that only they can make it there, or humanity can make it there, by them killing off the useless eaters of our people, basically the people who are on a low vibration. Well, the fucked up thing is that they're the ones who have caused the low vibration of humanity, right? And it's all been done on purpose, from the overly poisoned processed food that we eat, to the corrupted education that we're fed, to the, you know, corrupt economy that we live within, right? This is all a result of these Edomites and their wicked doings, right? What did the scripture say in Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon? It says, they say we must be getting every way, though it be by evil means, right? That they considered our life here as a pastime, a market for gain, you know, paraphrasing, but that's ultimately how they see us, right? Now, the very, you know, top elites, the ones who are biblically scholared, they understand what's truly going on. They understand that they are the Edomites, that this is their heaven, and they've pushed forward agendas so that way they can hence rule forever and kill off the seed of Israel, which, you know, spoiler alert, that's not going to happen. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right? And right here, this is talking about why these agendas, these plans are not going to work. Right? Because you see, these secret cabal groups, these new age movements, they all work with a certain caveat, that they all are hidden, right? That it's all a hidden, in plain sight, where people don't really know what's going on. But you see what's happening, because these elites are being consumed with the spirit of the Lord's mouth, who are the prophets. That's us, right? This is where we come in, right? It's our job. The Lord gave it to us, right? What he says, I shall make him of a quick understanding, in the book of Isaiah, talking about us Israelites who have woken up, who are now teaching this truth. The Lord put it upon us to wake up in these end times, to get this truth put in us, and now to go out and tell the world what's happening, even at our own peril, right? And why is that? Well, because of this. Because right now, the man of sin, right, these Edomites, the Caucasian race, are being revealed for who they are. And that's happening because the Lord said that he would put the skirts of Esau upon his head. He would basically reveal the world their nakedness and their shame, right? Because before the Lord comes and destroys these Edomites, who have portrayed themselves as angels of light, as the savior of humanity, he has to show the world that they've been frauds, that they've basically misled the entire world, right? And that's what's happening right now. The Lord is making an inquisition into these Edomites, their nation, and what they've done, and it's all being brought out in the forefront. This is the part of the trial where all the evidence is coming out, right? It's all being presented. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, and so forth, right? And ultimately, what's happening is the world is growing colder and colder towards these Edomites, man. You can see these Edomites are now catching hell from all over, man. This is Job 20 and 22, fulfilling this prophecy. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. You see that? And that's ultimately what's happening, man. You see, the Lord right now is basically, now that these Edomites are in their sufficiency, right? They've basically made it to the top of the hill. They've won the race, and now they're basically sitting back and watching their younger generation squander their achievements into the wind, right? And what's the Lord doing? He's now putting them in a position of difficulty, man. He's destroying their seeds. Their men no longer want to be men. Their women don't want to be women. They're the lowest birthing nation of the earth, and ultimately, man, they have destroyed their own nation through their own actions, right? The scriptures say, he that rolleth the stone, it shall fall upon him, it shall roll back upon him. That's what the Lord is doing, man. He is rolling that stone that Esau set up for the world. He's rolling it back down upon him. So all these Planned Parenthood, the woman power, feminist movement, the birth control movement, all this stuff is now coming back and being put upon Esau, right? His women don't want to have children anymore. Their men don't want to be men, right? They're women who had been stuck and addicted to birth control pills are now birthing, homosexual children who don't want to even procreate anymore, right? This is all the judgment of the Lord, right? And also, we're going to start seeing this, right? I've already been seeing it, and I'm sure a lot of you Akim have been seeing it too. But there's more videos, right, where people are basically taking out these Karens and Kens, man, right? Basically not putting up with Esau's shit anymore, right? You see an Edomite try to exert some type of authority over the tribes, and you see Israel stand up, basically tell them, get the heck out of here, and in so many nice terms. But the point being is that the rod of the wicked has been destroyed, right? That rod representing rulership, authority, right? That has now been destroyed. So now Edomites are being confounded. They're being questioned on what they're saying, man. And before, this used to just simply be their trait. So whenever you see the Karen videos, understand that is basically these Edomites trying to push that authoritarian stick, right? That rod of authority upon the other nations, which at one time it used to work, man. You had an Edomite come by, ask a question, you're like, yes sir, no sir, que mande, you all these things, right? But now it's like, what do you care about? Get out of here, Karen. That's what you're starting to see now. Because why? Because the Lord has put these Edomites in a strait, he has basically made their path difficult. And what's going to happen soon is that the hands of the wicked shall come upon them. Now, this word here, when you look it up in the Blue Letter Bible, the interlinear, it basically goes back to the word laborers, right? So the common people, right? The people who in this video were referred to as the 1/3 that would be eliminated, they're ultimately are going to turn on these elites, man. And we're just going to see this, happening as you're going to have a lot of citizenry rise up against their elected officials, against the rich people, because they don't got enough to eat. They don't have enough money or enough jobs to make money to pay their rent. You're going to have all these people starting to, get upset because their life has been screwed over because of how shitty the economy is, and they're going to look for somebody to take it out upon, man. And that's where your leaders of the society, these Edomites, are going to, get it and shit, man. Yeah, there's going to be some exceptions to the rule. You're going to have a Moabite here, Ammonite there, an Israelite here. But for the most part, man, it's going to be these Edomites who are the true rulers of the world, who are going to reap the majority of these punishments that the world is going to put upon them. Now, that ultimately is going to be the reason why Esau is going to have to bring forward that martial law, which is ultimately Jacob's trouble, right? But for a while, and you're already starting to see it. You're starting to see these richer Edomites be robbed in their Beverly Hills restaurants, and getting followed home. See, this right here is the Lord visiting these Edomites, right? But again, it's only going to get worse from here on out, right? So their plan on depopulating at least 1/3 of the world, it's not going to come to pass, man. These devils, they've played their hand, and they've been found wanting, and now they're going to have to pay for their doings. This is Obadiah 1:10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And again, when it says here Jacob, this is talking about the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, because we descend from the loins of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, making us the Israelites. Okay, we are the chosen seed. We are the people who the Lord decided was enough, right? We are those people, right? We're the people who the next iteration of humanity will be led by, right? And the thing is we just have to go through this current tribulation, this time that is going to start coming upon all of us, man. We're all going to have to go through a test. We're going to have to live through some crazy end world events like famine, war, collapsing of society, and then the mandatory microchip implants, which will lead ultimately to a World War III breaking out. And you're going to see a lot of crazy shit, man. But hey, when that happens, that's when the Lord's going to show up, and he's going to watch over the Israelites. So Israelites who have woken up, who are trying to do the most righteous they can, and he's going to destroy these Edomites, right? He's going to destroy them. What did that video say, man? That there's going to be a new root race upon the earth after the cleansing. Well, they think that's going to be them, right? See, they think that they're going to be the new root race, and root race goes back to like the chosen people, right? The Nazis thought they were the chosen people, and they refer to themselves as the Aryans, right? And that's ultimately what the Aryans go to, man. It basically means the chosen race that comes out in front of all the other races. Well, see, they don't realize that's not talking about them, man. See, those are the deceptions of these left-hand angels who have lied to these Edomites to get them to do what the Lord wanted them to do, which is to rise up against the Lord, to try to destroy his people, his seed line, the nation of Israel, and to put the rest of the world into subjection, right? But again, that ain't gonna work. Esau, you've been duped, and ultimately, man, you're gonna basically be found wanting, and you're ultimately gonna have to pay for all the wickedness that you've done throughout time. Hence Obadiah 1:10. You shall be cut off forever, because again, after all these end time events happen, the Lord finally shows up. These Edomites who have managed to scuttle away to their underground bases, who are still going to be alive during these end time events, they're going to ultimately get all pulled out, and they're going to be the first into captivity, man. It doesn't matter if they haven't lifted up a tool in their whole life. They're gonna do some hard labor, as the apostles said, man. But either way, Akim, I just wanted to share this with you. I thought that was an interesting video that I've had for a while, and I just wanted you to all see it. All right. So until next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Dash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.